Oh gosh, you scared me. Don't sneak up on me like that. Ooh. Anyway, wow. While we're here, I am going to talk to you about this week's big idea devotional lesson. I'm really glad you're here. This week, we're looking at a story from the book of Acts, chapter 9, verses 1 through 31. And it's about a guy named Saul. I know you guys are excited because the drawings are back this week. Woo! Anyway, so I'm going to walk you through the drawings, how to do these professional expertise things. You like that wording there? And then I'm going to tell you what each picture represents in the story. Okay. So the first one is just a heart, and you write God's family. I hope you can see it. I know there's a little bit of a glare from the light, but you just do a heart and you write God's family in. And here's what that drawing is about from Acts 9. Jesus had gone back to heaven. He had sent his spirit to help his friends tell others about his love. All over Jerusalem, people were talking about Jesus, and they were believing in him and accepting his love, so that God's family got bigger every day. And that was good news to a lot of people, but to a guy named Saul, this guy, okay, maybe it's this guy, I don't know. It was terrible news. Okay. So the first picture is God's family was growing. The second picture is the same thing. You do a heart with God's family, but then you draw a big circle around it and mark it out. Here's what that picture is about. Saul was an important leader, a religious leader in Jerusalem, but he didn't believe that Jesus was God's son. And he was angry at all the people that did believe this. He was so angry, he wanted to punish anyone who followed Jesus. So our next picture, you actually write the word jail. So Jail, and you kind of space them out. And then if you do it again underneath, all I did here is you connect the J and the L right here. So at the tops of the J and the L, and then the bottom of the L, you do a line across, and then you do lines over that I and over this first part of the A to make it look like somebody is in jail. Okay. Here's what that picture is about. Saul got permission from the religious leaders to throw people in jail who said that they love Jesus. So Saul left for Damascus. People came to this place from all over the world. Saul thought that if he could keep putting people there in jail that talked about Jesus, then maybe he could stop all this talk about Jesus from spreading. So Saul didn't want people talking about Jesus and spreading the good news. So he decided to start throwing people in jail. Our next picture is a flash of light. And you're basically just doing the letter V or a triangle at the bottom all the way around. Okay. So this is to represent a burst of light. And so here's what that picture is about. As Saul and the men traveling with him got close to Damascus, a bright light shined from heaven, and it flashed in front of Saul. And Saul fell to the ground, and he said, "Why are you fighting against me? Like, what is happening?" And so our next picture is, I'm sure this is exactly what Saul looked like. You're going to draw somebody's face, and then you're using the number 3 for his hair. And it's like his hair is sticking up, and he's going like this. You need to do that. Like, can you guys do that? Like, put your hands on your face. Have you ever seen the movie Home Alone? That's what Kevin did in Home Alone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ask your parents, okay? Saul gasped, "Who are you, Lord?" And Jesus said, "I am Jesus, the one you are trying to hurt." Saul was so sure that Jesus was not God's son, but now he heard Jesus speaking to him. "Go into the city," Jesus told Saul. "You will be told what to do next." So this is Saul, right? So you're going to draw his face, and you're just going to do like a little mark, like a little U, like to show that he's praying. And then you draw a line for his body, and then little lines like this for his leg. And then for his arms, you write the letter W, except they're kind of intersecting across each other there. Okay. I feel like you guys can't see that. I'm going to get you closer here. Yeah, there you go. That's a better picture. So there's Saul with his hair all over the place. And then, here's Saul praying. Okay. So that gives you a better view of that. So let me put you back here. Okay. So here's what's going on in this picture where Saul is praying. So Saul got up. He couldn't see anything. The people with him took him by the hand, led him to a place to stay, and Saul stayed there for 3 days. And if you've noticed, the camera is sliding back. I'm sorry. Number 7, you're going to draw 2 stick figure people, and then you're going to draw like 2 wavy lines and some squiggly lines in the middle to represent a river or a lake or a pond. Okay, a river. Saul, so he was still where he was, and God sent a man named Ananias to see Saul. Ananias prayed for Saul, and then Saul could see again. Saul finally understood that Jesus is God's son and that he was alive. Saul himself wanted to be a friend of Jesus and wanted to tell other people about Jesus. So at first, he was throwing people in jail and didn't want to talk to people about Jesus. But now he's had an encounter with Jesus. He's met him and he wants to tell other people about him. And this picture is pretty simple. You're drawing 2 faces. One is a little scared and one is happy. So Jesus' friends, they were afraid of Saul at first, but they soon saw that Saul was a changed man. So Jesus' friends helped him. After a few days, Saul began to tell people all over Damascus the good news. When people heard Saul, they were amazed. So think about what was Saul like before he met Jesus? And what was he like after he met Jesus? That's the amazing thing. When we meet Jesus and we learn that he loves us, and when we accept that love, and when we love him in return, it changes us. It makes us want to live in a way that honors Jesus. It makes us want to live in a way where we serve others and care about others. Loving Jesus changes you. So I want to challenge you this week to love Jesus with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. I hope you guys have a great week. Show me your pictures, send me your drawings, and I will see you next time.